wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke?
Yeah.
Who wants to smoke?
Yeah. Temperatures going up, the heat is rising, scholars showing up, audience vibing. We on a mission, competition is the only desire. Whose information will be facing the mercy of fire? So step up, stand up, can you walk through hell? So tough, too tough for the weak soft shell. Set the fire, fan the flame, smoke is rising in blooms, while the inexperienced today just dust the choke on the fumes. Bring your science, bring the wisdom, even bring your religion. If you can't stand the heat, then please don't come in the HOK. It's just a session, learn a lesson, fight and overcome oppression. Who'll be the best debated by the time all the smoke clears? Who wants to smoke? I want the smoke. This environment is the toughest, so bring your best in. Put your spirit to the test. You stepping into the ring with the scholar with the no digits harder. I will make you holler in the information flow with power. You wanted to pick the elite, the undisputed. Now watch as your outdated theories get refuted. I'm posted in the den, let the world burn. Pressure in the room, it's finally my turn. They want the smoke, I'm the whole forest fire. Watch the oxygen vanish as the flames climb higher. My mind is the weapon, I'm no joke. I'm the baddest, I come for the smoke. No joke, I'm the baddest to ever breathe. I don't play house, I make them leave. Smoke session. Smoke, 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 smoke session. I want the smoke. Smoke, 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 smoke session. sa.neter, you better warn them. Who wants the smoke? Who wanna say that I'm not playing? Oh my God, sa.neter, stop playing with me. Now Paul, you better tell him, you better tell her. Now Paul, stop playing with me.
Yeah. Excuse me. All I want to ask you is, who wants the smoke?
Let's get it.
Hey, yo, Easy Bandz, man, this is going to be a great one right here. We got Easy Bandz in the building, who is a bona fide Christian, and Easy Bandz is sick and tired of all those with the big mouths, and they also have a religion. So Easy Bandz has come up today to expose their religion as well. So yes, Easy Bandz, let's get it in, man. Talk to me, man. What brought this about, brother?
Hey, man, what's going on? Peace and blessings to you, brother Sa.
Peace.
Nice. Yeah, man. So basically, last time I was on the House of Consciousness. I tried to talk about some of these topics, and the people that were on the panels would not allow me to speak. So we're about to show the people why they didn't want me to speak. All right. So I'm about to show the people what's going on with Islam. Okay.
There you go.
We hear a lot of rhetoric when it comes to Christianity. And now I just want to hold the mirror up to the Muslims and have them come on the panel and defend their deen. Because from what I'm seeing, brother, there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of issues going on with the religion of Islam. And I think we need to shine a light on that. You feel me? So I hope everybody's ready in the chat. Y'all got your popcorn. You know what I'm saying? I heard Brother La earlier. Brother La said he's bringing all the Muslims from Africa and stuff, right? So
I just want to say Salamu Alaikum to all the Muslims out there. Let me drop the link. Because Brother La said he's going to share the link to the Muslims. All right. We ready. You can get it in when you're ready, brother.
All right. All right. So just give me 2 seconds. I just need to
Yeah.
get everything in order and share my screen.
Go ahead, brother. Get your 2 minutes in. Go ahead and do your thing. Get ready. Family, I'm trying to let y'all know. Call all the Muslims out. Call them. Let them know that Easy Bandz is live and he getting ready to go in on their Quran. Let me see.
Yes,
Where you
sir.
at, brother? Live? Where you at?
Okay, so let me share my screen right quick. Present. So we're going to start with what we call the Islamic dilemma. Okay.
Mhm.
So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show some verses from the Quran that affirm and confirm the Bible. So the Injil and the Torah. All right. These
Right.
scriptures, which belong to the Christians and the Jews, right? These scriptures are confirmed and affirmed by the Quran. Okay. So I just want everybody to see this, that I'm not making it up. This is what
Right.
really what it really says. All right. So the thing is with the dilemma is that it affirms the Quran affirms the Bible, the Injil and the Torah, but then the Bible basically disqualifies the Quran. Okay.
Mhm.
So that means that the Quran is a contradiction on its own, right? So if it affirms the previous scriptures, but the previous scriptures debunk it, that means you can't take it seriously. Okay. So it's false in that aspect. Also, if then it affirms the Bible, you know what I mean? And then the Bible is saying, yo, look, you can't follow Muhammad because Muhammad is teaching a message that is distinct from the message that we have in the Bible. That means it's false as well. So I want the Muslims to come and defend that fact. Okay. After that, we're going to go into other reasons why the Quran should not be looked at seriously. For instance, you know, the verse on the Ida that I showed you last time, where that talks about, you know, prepubescent females being allowed to get married and had intercourse with and stuff like that. So we're going to go into various topics. I'll try to keep it short, and so that we can have maybe another episode, another series of this, right? Because it would take too long if I had to bring everything out today. So I'm just going to try to keep it sweet and short, get some people on the panel, and we can have a back and forth dialogue. Okay. So we're going to start with Quran, Surah 1094. All right. And once again, what we're doing here is showing, I don't know, can you see my screen? Is that big enough? Brother Sa, let me see.
Yeah, your screen is good. Your screen is good.
Yeah. All right. So once again, what we're doing here is we're showing that the Quran actually affirms and confirms the previous scriptures, the Torah and the Injil. So here we go. It says, if you, O Prophet, are in doubt about these stories, well, these stories, this is in parentheses. It's not really there in the surah. All right. This is just something that they've added. So it says, if you are in doubt about that which we have revealed to you, then ask those who read the scriptures before you. The truth has certainly come to you from your Lord, so do not be one of those who doubt. So this is literally telling the Prophet Muhammad, right? That this is Allah talking to the Prophet Muhammad and telling him, if you doubt what I have revealed to you, meaning the Quran, then go and ask the people who read the scriptures before you, meaning the Christians and the Jews. All right. And they will basically affirm, you know, that what you have is true. So this right here is Allah telling the Prophet Muhammad himself, like, yo, if you're in doubt, go check the previous scriptures, okay? The Injil and the Torah. So I don't want to hear this nonsense about, oh, the previous scriptures have been corrupted, etc., etc. If that was the case, you wouldn't have Allah telling the Prophet to go and check with the people, the Christians and the Jews, okay? So this is one of the joints. Well, let's go to the next one right quick. Okay. Share this. And here we have Surah 5, verse 44. Let me just scroll down so we can see it. Indeed, we revealed the Torah containing guidance and light by which the prophets who submitted themselves to Allah made judgments for the Jews. So too did the rabbis and scholars judge according to Allah's book, with which they were entrusted and of which they were made keepers. So do not fear the people, fear me, nor trade my revelations for a fleeting again. And those who do not judge by what Allah has revealed are truly the disbelievers. So here we go again. This is in the Quran. It's a clear scripture basically telling the people, look, we have revealed the Torah containing guidance and light by which the prophets who submitted themselves to Allah made judgments for the Jews. So it's affirming and confirming the Torah. All right. This is Surah, I think it's 544. Okay.
Damn, you going in, Easy Bears. This is fire.
Word up, man. So I don't want to hit all this stuff about the Torah and the Injil being corrupted. That's all out the window from now on, because the Quran itself affirms and confirms. So unless you hate the Quran, you're going to come and disagree with me. But all right, so let's go to the next one. I got several of these, huh? We got about like 5 or 6 of these. All right, let me share this one. Okay. And this is Surah 5, verse 45. Okay. So we ordained for them in the Torah a life for a life, an eye for an eye, nose for a nose, an ear for an ear, tooth for a tooth, and for wounds, equal retaliation. But whoever waives it charitably, it will be an atonement for them. And those who do not judge by what Allah has revealed are truly the wrongdoers. So here we go again. It even goes further into the Torah and brings out some of the laws that you find, an eye for an eye, etc., etc. It actually goes into detail, showing that it's actually talking about the same Torah that we got today.
Damn, that's fire, because you can actually say it come right out the Torah.
Yes, sir.
You know how they always talk about plagiarism and all that? What the hell is this? The Torah say the same thing.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what's going on here, man.
Yeah.
And in a little bit, I wanted to also propose to you if I could bring on eventually. I already spoke to him a few weeks back. His name is Callum from Titans TV. You know him, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's my brother.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see if I could bring him on so he could talk about some of the plagiarizations. And I think you'll love it, because what he comes with is like a different angle. It's
brother,
like,
he came to Harlem to see me and meet me, brother.
Say word, man.
We met together. He came to my event and all that.
Yeah, he's definitely part of the family. He's always bigging you up, you know.
Yeah.
Even when he seen me on here, man, he was like, yo, because I used to go on his channel, you know. And when he seen me on here, man, he was like, wow, you know, he was going off. But I want him to come through and do this presentation for you, man. He has this presentation where he's done some research in Muhammad, right? The prophet. Yeah. And his hypothesis is that it's a plagiarization of some Africans, some black people, right? That went into some Abyssinians, right? From Aksum, that went into Arabia. And they kind of conquered there for like, I think they colonized that area for like 50 to 70 years. And so some of the stories that you find in the Quran are basically based about some of those rulers and leaders that went into Arabia from Africa. And so he basically hypothesizes that Muhammad was actually a black man, you know, and the current Muhammad that we get from the Quran is just like a remix, a plagiarization. So they just removed the original character and implanted this Arabic Muhammad that we find. So anyways, we're diverting. But so let me just read this right quick. Oh yeah, I did this one. Let's go to the next one. But yeah, so I don't know, man. Just let me know when's a good time for you to have him on, and I'll get in touch with him.
You just tell me. He can come on anytime.
All right, bet. Sounds good. All right, so you guys are seeing this one?
Yep.
So here we go. We got more where that came from. 546. Then in the footsteps of the prophets, we sent Jesus, son of Mary, confirming the Torah revealed before him, and we gave him the gospel, containing guidance and light, and confirming what was revealed in the Torah, a guide and a lesson to the God-fearing. So here we go. It's again clear as day, black and white. It's showing that they actually is confirming the Torah and confirming the Gospels. All right, right there you see it, and it says we gave him the gospel containing guidance and light and confirming what was revealed in the Torah. So it's showing that the Injil, which is the Gospels, has continuity with the Torah. Okay, so that's another clear as day verse. But you'll see they'll come in and try to, you know, lie on the Quran. So we're gonna catch them in their lies. All right. So here we go again. This is 547. So let the people of the gospel judge by what Allah has revealed in it, and those who do not judge by what Allah has revealed are truly rebellious. So this is literally telling us Christians to continue judging ourselves by what Allah has revealed within the Gospels, within the Injil. All right. So this is not only a confirmation, but it's also an instruction that we should continue to use the Gospels to judge ourselves and to know how to live. Right. It's saying that those who do not judge by what Allah has revealed within the Gospel are the true rebellious ones. All right. Black and white. So let's go. We're just going to shoot through these real quick. We have revealed to you, O Prophet, this book with the truth as a confirmation of previous scriptures and the supreme. So here it says supreme authority, but, you know, they've basically switched it up. The word there is Muhammad, which means basically a guide or something, a guardian or something that like. It's not supreme authority. We can go through the words over here, but I just want to shoot past this. But anyways, on them. So judge between them by what Allah has revealed to you. Do not follow their desires over the truth that has come to you. To each of you, we have ordained a call and a way of life. If Allah had willed, he would have made you one community, but his will is to test you with what he has given each of you. So compete with one another in doing good. So basically, he's confirming he's confirming the Torah, he's confirming the Injil, and saying that we gave the Torah to the Jews, we gave the Injil to the Christians, and he's telling the people to compete using what we have given you and to compete in doing what's good. All right. So once again, this is a clear as day confirmation. Okay. So here we go. Surah 5, verse 68. I mean, there's so many of these, like it's crazy. So it says, say, O prophet, O people of the book, you have nothing to stand on unless you observe the Torah, the gospel, and what has been revealed to you from your Lord. And your Lord's revelation to you, O prophet, will only cause many of them to increase in wickedness and disbelief. So do not grieve for the people who disbelieve. So here we go again. It's literally telling the people of the Torah and the people of the gospel that we should basically, if we don't stand on the Torah and the gospel, then we have nothing to stand on. So here again is confirming and affirming and actually instructing us to stand on the Torah and the gospel that has been revealed to us as Christians and Jews. Okay. So when you hear a lot of this rhetoric from Muslims, you got to understand that a lot of this rhetoric is them looking in hindsight and trying to fix some of these mistakes or contradictions that you find in the Quran, where it's affirming the scriptures, previous scriptures, but then you find the previous scriptures basically debunking it. Okay, so it loses credibility in that aspect, right? You can't look at it as something that's official because the scriptures that it's pointing to are debunking it. Okay, so hopefully that sticks now. Here we go. And he has revealed to you, O prophet, the book and truth, confirming what came before it. He has also revealed the Torah and the gospel. So that's just another one. I think we're good on these for now. Let's see. Yeah, the other one says, do not argue with them. Fully submit. Okay, that's just another one. So you see, there's just a bunch of these. Now, let me read you guys this hadith. Okay, this hadith right here. I read it last time, but let me do it again just to show you guys, the gravity of the Torah and the Injil to Muhammad. So a group of Jews came and invited the messenger of Allah to Kif. So he visited them in their school. They said, Abu Qasim, one of the men, has committed fornication with a woman, so pronounce judgment upon them. They placed a cushion for the messenger of Allah, who sat on it and said, bring the Torah. It was brought. When he then withdrew the cushion from beneath him and placed the Torah on it, saying, I believe in thee and in him who revealed thee. So as you can see in this hadith, Muhammad asked for the Torah to be presented to him. And he gets up off his cushion, basically his throne that he's sitting on. He gets up off that, and to show reverence to this Torah, to the book, he actually puts the Torah on the cushion and talks to the Torah. All right. Now, you don't see this that much. He actually literally talks to the Torah and says, I believe in thee and in him who revealed thee. Okay. That's just to show you guys how much reverence Muhammad has for the Torah. Okay, he gets up off his seat, places it on his seat, and talks to it and tells it, "Hey, I believe in you and the one who revealed you." All right, and then yeah, so it goes on to explain how the Torah was read, and basically the fornicators were punished to death using the verses within the Torah, okay, by stoning. So that's just another clear example showing that the Torah is basically revered and confirmed. And then we have, I wanted to go into some of the basically, I wouldn't say prophecies, because it's talking about what happened before, right? But then it's also a prophecy saying what's going to happen in the future. So here we go. I'm going to show you guys this one Quran verse, and what it's saying in this verse right here is talking about yeah, so this is basically talking about who prevailed, right? Okay, so it says, "O believers, stand up for Allah as Jesus, son of Mary, asked the disciples, who will stand up with me for Allah? The disciples replied, we will stand up for Allah. Then a group from the children of Israel believed, while another disbelieved. We then supported the believers against their enemies." So
stop, Easy Bandz. Stop, brother. Did you know what you just read?
Yeah, man. That's why I'm reading it.
You read the same thing that's in the damn Torah, in the Bible. Remember, I always quote that. Who will stand with me against the evils of iniquity?
Yes, you do.
Saying the same damn thing. They just changed it up a little bit, but it's saying the same thing.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Go ahead, brother. Go in. Do it. Take it from the top again.
Yes, sir. So it says, "O believers, stand up for Allah as Jesus, son of Mary, asked the disciples, who will stand up with me for Allah?" Just as you said. And then the disciples replied, "We will stand up for Allah." Then a group from the children of Israel believed, while another disbelieved. We then supported the believers against their enemies, so they prevailed. So do you know what this means? Is that the believers, who are the followers of Jesus, who followed his message, who stood up with him, basically he's saying the Quran is saying that Allah made those prevail. So who are these people they're talking about? What would you say, sir? Who are the people that prevailed? Who are the people who stood up with Jesus?
I don't know. I gotta let you deal with that.
The Christians, brother.
Yeah, the Christians. Go ahead.
Right. So it's saying we then supported the believers against their enemies, so they prevailed. Okay. Which group of people prevailed in terms of the religion? It's the Christians, right? The Trinitarian Christians. Okay. So just to further this, let me show you another one that goes a little bit deeper into this. Here we go. So this says, "Remember when Allah said, 'O Jesus, I would take you and raise you up to myself. I would deliver you from those who disbelieve and elevate you from elevate your followers above the disbelievers until the day of judgment.'" So, brother Sa, here we go again. The Quran is basically making up, not only talking about what happened in the past, but it's also making a prophecy about the future. And what it's saying is that, it's talking about, raising Jesus, right? It says, "I will take you," but the term here is mutawafika. Okay, the Islamic term here is mutawafika. Now, there we go.
Mutawafika.
You guys heard that?
Mutawafika.
You heard that?
Yeah, we heard it.
Yeah.
Mutawafika.
Now, the literal meaning of mutawafika is death. But by all intents and purposes, it's death. So here we go. We even find in the Quran where it's saying, hey, Allah is saying, "Hey, look, I would take you," right? Which means that Jesus would die, would cease to exist on this earth, right? In this dimension. "I would take you up." Same thing the Bible says. You said the Bible talks about how Jesus Christ was crucified and then resurrected and then ascended into the heavens, right? But you find them denying that Jesus was killed, right? But then when you look at certain verses, you look at the terminology used, you see that there's still traces and hints of the original story. So this for now, like, let me give you my premise, right? My premise is that the Quran has been corrupted thoroughly, and that's what I'm going to bring Brother Callum on to show exactly what I'm talking about. But the Quran, I believe, has been corrupted thoroughly. And like I said, it's been remixed. It's the original character who Muhammad is based on was a black man named Abraha, all right, who was a conqueror from Africa, okay? And you do find that he has been removed and replaced with Muhammad. And so you find these little, here and there, you find these little abrogations where, you know, they'll try to be a polemic against Christianity, okay? Abraha was a Christian, by the way. So anyways, here it says, I would take you and raise you up to myself. I would deliver you from those who disbelieve and elevate your followers above the disbelievers until the day of judgment. So, Brother Sa, this means that the followers of Jesus Christ will be elevated, okay? They will be elevated until above the disbelievers until the day of judgment, okay? So now if we just look at so far what we have, who would you say is the most dominant religion in the world right now, Brother Sa? I don't know, you're probably busy. But anyway, so Christians are the most dominant religion.
What's that? What's that, brother? What's that?
Yeah, I was asking, who would you say are the most dominant, what's the most dominant religion right now in the world?
Christianity, but Islam is coming up.
Yes, sir. Islam is coming up, but till this day, it's still Christianity.
Yeah, it's still Christianity.
So when we say this, it's talking to Jesus, right? He says, I will raise you up to myself. I will deliver you from those who disbelieve and elevate your followers above the disbelievers until the day of judgment. So who are these followers of Jesus who have been elevated above the disbelievers at this point? Wouldn't you say it's the Christians?
Yes.
Yes. So here we go. It's even talking about the Christians being elevated over the disbelievers or their enemies until the day of judgment. So here's another prophecy that goes back into time and then into the future as well. All right, guys. So now to show you guys what I'm talking about and what sa.neter is talking about too, here's Encyclopedia Britannica, and I'm just showing you guys that the population chart in terms of religious tradition, you see that Christians or Christianity is 2.5 billion, okay, with a B. Islam, you get 1.8 billion, all right? So even now, you can see that the Christians are elevated above the disbelievers, okay? The people, even Islam, elevated above Islam, Hinduism, agnosticism, Buddhism, you name it, the Christians are elevated. And it says that will be elevated until the day of judgment, okay? So this is just to show you guys, just to give you a literal presentation of who is being actually spoken about in these verses. Oh, my bad, I didn't share that. Let me share that for you guys. Okay, y'all can see it. So it shows you religious tradition versus population. And it shows you at number one, Christianity with 2.5 billion adherents of Christianity. Second is Islam with 1.8 or 1.9 billion, okay? And so we see that the people that's being held above or being made dominant are the Christians with 2.5 billion. And we've been dominant since about, I would say, like the 5th or 4th century, okay? When basically Christianity became a state religion in Rome, and it became a state religion in Ethiopia as well. And then you find it being a state religion in other places, including Assyria, et cetera, et cetera. So we've been dominant since about the 5th, 4th century. All right. So that verse is talking about the Christians. Here we go. Just give me a second. Okay. Brother Sa, one of the reasons why you find Islam, like you said, is growing, right? You see that it's growing quickly. Some of the reasons why are because of some of the draconian laws that they have in Islam, the Sharia, right? So in the Sharia, you find something called an apostasy law. And an apostasy law basically means that if you publicly leave Islam, you can pay with your life, all right? The penalty for such an action in a lot of Islamic countries that follow Sharia is death, okay? And this is practiced all over. So here's a hadith, which is Sahih al-Bukhari, which means that it's Sahih, which means this is authentic, right? And we have, this is Sahih al-Bukhari 30:17. And it says, Ali burnt some people, and this news reached Ibn Abbas, who said, had I been in this place, I would not have burnt them. As the Prophet said, don't punish anybody with Allah's punishment. So he's saying that Allah's punishment for, people is burning, right? So the man is saying, hey, look, I wouldn't have burnt the people because that's Allah's punishment. And then he goes on to say, no doubt I would have killed them, for the Prophet said, if somebody, a Muslim, discards his religion, kill him. Okay? So, Brother sa.neter, this is why you find that Islam is growing, because they're being held by gunpoint most of the time. Okay? And a lot of places that carry and hold Sharia law, there is what you call an apostasy law, which prevents Muslims from leaving the religion in fear of death. Okay? So that's why you see that some of these numbers seem to be growing. But the truth is that a lot of those people have already left Islam, and they just do it because of the fear of being put to death. Okay? So there's a lot of people who are technically in Islam, but are not really Muslims, and they don't believe in Islam. They just still in there out of fear of death or losing family or being basically isolated and whatever it may be. Okay? So then let's go now to the Bible, just to show you a few examples of basically, what this debunks Islam, basically. So you have Galatians chapter 1, verse 8. And this is an example of why we shouldn't follow Islam, because it teaches a different doctrine. So in Galatians 1, verse 8, it says, but even if we or an angel from heaven should preach a gospel other than the one we have preached to you, let them be under God's curse. Okay, so that right there is formally rejecting any doctrine that is being preached that is different from what has been revealed in the Gospels. Okay, and now we know that Islam basically preaches that no one should come to Allah and call him the Father. Okay, so Allah is not a father in any sense, whether it be metaphorical, figurative, lesser sense, whatever sense, right? You should never ever come and call Allah the Father. But then we find in Christianity, you find where not even just Christianity, even in the Torah, you find God being referred to as the Father continuously. Okay, we always hear from Muslims how they say that Jesus Christ prayed like a Muslim, etc., etc. But they always forget to tell you guys the Lord's Prayer told everybody to pray, which he begins by saying, "Our Father in heaven, may your holy name be honored," etc., etc., etc. And so he refers to the God as the Father. You find in Deuteronomy and so many books of the Old Testament where God is referred to as the Father as well. But then when you go to Islam, you find in the Quran, it's forbidding you from calling God the Father in any shape, sense, or form. So that right there alone is a different doctrine. Okay? You understand what we're saying? So it says here, but even if we or an angel from heaven should preach a gospel other than the one that we preach to you, let them be under God's curse. So even an angel from heaven, they claim that angel Gabriel came to Muhammad in a cave. So even if it's angel Gabriel or Jibril, whatever they call him, and it came to Muhammad in a cave and showed Muhammad the gospel that he has now, that gospel is under God's curse. Okay, so it's different from what we have in our doctrine. So then let's see. So then you also hear about how Paul is always basically maligned and scandalized. So they like to say that Paul basically invented Christianity, etc., etc. This is a lot of New Age Muslims who don't even know their own literature, right? But you do find the mention of Paul in in several literature, Islamic literature, right? They talk about Paul, they talk about Simon, Simon Peter, and I think John as well is spoken of. So you see that the Muslims were familiar with these people, right? So not only is Paul mentioned in Islamic literature, you have the Gospels that's talked about in the Islamic literature, in the Quran, the Injil, and then for those who say that Paul invented Christianity and Paul is not really a prophet or whatever it may be, you have to contend with your own sources now. All right, this is what I want to bring to the people. Okay, so here we see that. Here we see this is Surah 36, verse 14. Said we sent them two messengers, but they rejected both. So we have reinforced the two with the third, and they declared, we have indeed been sent to you as messengers. So if we look at the tafsir on this, right, this is talking about some of the messengers that Jesus sent. Okay, so let's look at the tafsir and see what this is saying right here. Okay, so it says, we reinforced them with a third, means we supported and strengthened them with a third messenger. Okay, let me see. First. Okay, so it says the names of the first two messengers were Shamun, which is Simon Peter, and Johanna, which is John. And the name of the third was Bulus, which is Paul. Okay, so you see in Islamic literature, the tafsirs, the scholars are literally naming some of these messengers that were sent by Jesus, right? So here we see Simon Peter, Shamun. You see Johanna, I'm repeating again, John. And the third that was sent is Paul, Bulus. And the city was Antioch, where they were sent, apparently. So you see that even Paul, the apostle, is in Islamic literature. So those Muslims that come on here trying to discredit Paul, etc., it's all nonsense. Okay, this is just another source showing the various mentions of Paul in Islamic literature. If you can see these are all basically reports. Okay, so let me just read the abstract on this. This research paper explores a plethora of pre-modern Islamic references to Saint Paul of Tarsus. Paul is spoken of in positive terms by prominent Muslim historians and exegetes, including Ibn Ishaq, that's one of the first ones, Ahmad al-Yaqubi, al-Bagawi, Ibn al-Jazwi, Ibn Kathir, Kutubi, Ibn Asakir, and Shawkani. He is often associated with the story of the three messengers in chapter 36 of the Quran. That's the one that I just read for you guys. This represents a consolidation of Christian history by Muslim scholars, creating a shared Abrahamic reverence for the pre-Muhammadan figures. Furthermore, this paper reviews some explicitly negative references towards Paul found in early Shiite literature. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all this, but basically, as I just read the abstract, it's going through the various plethora of mentions of the Apostle Paul when it comes to Islamic literature. You see, so there's some quotes. You see, these are quotes. So it says Paul was from the leaders of the Jews. He was the harshest among them, the most spiteful among them in rejecting what the Messiah brought. He gathered soldiers and went to the Messiah to kill him and prevent him from entering Damascus. So Jesus sent a meteor to him, and an angel struck him with its wing and blinded him. Thus he saw a proof for what he had brought, resulting in his belief and confirmation of it. So you see, they're even going ahead and trying to mix in the actual story that you find about Paul in the Bible and how he was blinded, etc., etc. Okay. So now let's go into some of the descriptions of the Prophet Muhammad. So let's talk about some of the descriptions of the Prophet Muhammad. Okay. So I've been telling people that, he's described as being white-skinned in a lot of reports, okay, of encounters, okay? So I'm just going to read a few of these, okay? I tore it open and found in it a description of Muhammad, that he was neither short nor tall, white. He has two braids between his shoulders is a ring. So he was white. That's what they're saying in this one, okay? Prophet Muhammad was white. So stop playing with us, man. Okay. Here again, the messenger of God was like white, the color infused redness. So basically, what it's saying is that he was white with a with a tint of redness, with a slight infused with a slight tint of redness. But it's saying that he was white. There again. Here's another one. So these are all different. These are all different reports. Okay. If he came with the people, he overwhelmed them. White, he was very clear skinned. With a large head, a bright complexion, and fair hair. Okay. So Muhammad, there he goes, he's white. Here again, he had a round face, white, a man with dark eyes, long eyelashes, a man with a stubble, and a bare chest. Okay, so Muhammad was apparently, he had a bare chest, but he was white. Let's keep going. Let's find some more. Like, you get tired of looking at these reports. Here's another one. He said it was white. His face is radiant with modesty. His eyes are long and dark. So there you go again. And here's another one. These are all different reports. Okay. The eyelashes of the eyes, white, the two sides of the thigh are together. So this is talking about his body parts now. So just to get it straight, so people can't say, oh, no, they're mistaking things. So now this is talking about his thighs. It's saying that his thighs were white. Okay, the two sides of his thighs. I don't know who was looking at his thighs like that, but you know, it is what it is. Here's another one. Again, white. Hold on. Was I not sharing this? My bad, y'all. I wasn't sharing that. I'm sharing it now. So I'm actually looking at it's called the Tabqat Ibn Sa'ad Arabic. All right. And this is a bunch of reports on the description of the Prophet Muhammad. Okay. This is the book. All right. Now I've got it translated in English on the sidebar over here. And we're going through some of the descriptions. So he told me, Amadab al-Shafarain, white, the two sides. Okay, so here we go again. It's talking about his two sides were white. I think it's talking about his thighs. Let's see. Here it says, yes, I saw how was his description. He said he was white, beautiful, and well aimed. Okay, here we go again. They tempted us. They hung up Yun al-Walid, the wig. They lent us Jalanun, Abd Adallah, Khan, whatever, man. So did you see the messenger of God? He said, yes, white, handsome face. All right. So the man was white, had a handsome face, apparently. Pause. It's and then we have another one here. It was a reply to you. All white he was of medium height, likely like the most handsome of men. So this is another one saying he was white, of medium height. He was the most handsome of men. Okay, so we could keep going. Like, all these right here are different references to the Prophet Muhammad and describing him being white skinned. All right, people. So now that I've proven to you people, to my people, that Muhammad was described as having white skin. Now, I'm not saying that he was European. Okay, let's get that straight. I'm not saying he was European. I believe he was an Arab, but you know, people, the shades of being an Arab can go from anywhere from extremely light skin, extremely white, like a European, to dark, extremely dark, right? You find Arabs of different ranges, right? But his particular description says that he was white. All right. Now, this right here, the hadith that I'm sharing is a topic that I think Brother Sa is also interested in, right? And this is the hadith that talks about how the Prophet Muhammad was engaged in slave trade. Okay, that means he owned slaves, and not only did he own slaves, but he owned black slaves. Okay, so this is a hadith. It's Sahih Muslim 1602, and it says, there came a slave and pledged allegiance to Allah's apostle on migration. He, the holy prophet, did not know that he was a slave. Then there came his master and demanded him back, whereupon Allah's apostle said, sell him to me. and he bought him for 2 black slaves. And he did not afterwards take allegiance from anyone until he had asked whether he was a slave or a free man. Okay, so here we see that because the slave came to Muhammad, pledged allegiance, and the Prophet, unaware that he was a slave, basically accepted him. Then the slave master came looking for his slave, and Muhammad said, "You know what? Let me buy him from you, and I will sell you 2 black slaves." So Muhammad sold 2 black slaves in the place of 1 non-black slave.
What?
All right. Yes, sir.
Hell?
Yes, sir.
Why
Yes,
are we
sir.
gonna be hearing about these stories from our brother La?
Man, I don't know. They be trying to hide this stuff under the rug,
Yeah,
you know, but
this is like hiding secrets, like the Masons, brother.
it's crazy,
Like
bro.
the Masons and Eastern Star say, brother.
Yeah, man. It's the
We got a
Illuminati
lot
over
of
here, man.
secrets over here, man.
A lot of secrets, man, and it's time to expose them. It's time to bring them out to the light.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
And we need to talk about these a lot more. Okay.
Yeah.
We need to bring a lot more debate. And you know, so even today, I saw that you know, brother Sa, you even were attacking the Bible just now, right? And you're asking brother DMG. Shout out to brother DMG, by the way, man. Great brother right there. But you were asking him questions about the Bible, right?
Right.
And he had to answer you and give you his opinion on them. And he didn't run to no theologians. So we don't want every time we bring in Islamic literature or scriptures, we hear these Islamic guys say, "Oh, let's see that. What does the tafsir say? What do the scholars say?" Nah, none of that.
Right.
We're coming with the words in black and white, and we need to have debates on what it's actually saying, and not run to people who are covering for, you know, the mistakes that you find in there. So here we go. Muhammad traded 2 black slaves to buy 1 non-black slave. All right. So he had black slaves. Let's cut the BS. Okay. Word up. All right. All right. What do we got next? Okay. So here's another. This is also going to be interesting for you, brother Sa. Here's another hadith. Okay. And this one basically is saying, this is another racial thing, right? So listen to this. Abu Darda reported God's messenger as saying, God created Adam. When he created him and struck his right shoulder, he brought forth his offspring white like small ants. Okay. So God struck Adam's right shoulder and brought forth Adam's offsprings and they were white like small ants. Okay. And then he struck his left shoulder and brought forth his offspring black as though they were charcoal. Okay. And then it says, then he said to the party on the right side, the white. Okay. Remember, white is right, brown stick around, black get back. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So then he goes to the party on the right side, to paradise, and I do not care. Okay. Meaning you guys are going to heaven, I don't care. And then he said to the party on the left shoulder, to hell, and I do not care. So to paradise, and I do not care, to the offspring that's white on Adam's right shoulder. All right. But then to the offspring that are black, he says to hell, and I do not care. Okay. So this is another hadith right here showing how, you know, people looked at people of color versus, you know, whiteness. So whiteness was looked at as, you know, as good and virtuous, while black was looked at as, you know, I'd say evil, okay, or something negative.
Right.
So, and here it's talking about, it's not saying that these people are ants. Don't get that twisted. It's talking about their, he said that they were small like ants, but they're his offspring, which means that they're human beings. Okay. So we see that right there. And now, so now let me just go right quick to, I'm just going to cover this right quick, just to show people something that, you know, is talked about in other circles, but you don't find it really talked about within the black community. So you find that there are various, there's a plethora actually of Qurans. Okay. There's not just one Quran. So you always hear the Muslims talking about how we have different denominations in Christianity and so on and so forth. But what they fail to tell you is that they have different Qurans as well. Okay. So here are two examples of what I'm talking about. On the left side of your screen, you have the Hafs Quran. On the right side of your screen, you have the Warsh Quran. Now, the Hafs Quran is I'd say the it's used by the most number of Muslims in the world, right? But then you have the Warsh, which is also used by people mostly in North Africa, and you find it even used in West Africa as well, and Ethiopia, places like that, right? And so, just to show you that not only, because this is the rhetoric you hear from Muslims that, oh, the Quran has been untouched, untampered with. Every one Quran is the same. You open one Quran here, you open another one in Europe or Africa somewhere, it's going to be all the same. But as we're about to see, that is a bunch of nonsense, okay? Because there are different vowels, there are different, consonants, there are different, even added words, right? There are different meanings to the words even in these different Qurans, okay? So let's look at the Hafs. So you have the Hafs over here on the left side. We'll start with this one, Maliki Yaumi, okay? Which says, owner of the day. That's Quran 1, verse 4, okay? And in the Warsh version, it says Maliki Yaumi. So this one is Ma'aliki Yaumi, right? And this one, as you can see on the right, the Warsh one, there's only one A, right? There's only one vowel there, which changes it. So that makes it king of the day. Whereas in the Hafs, it's owner of the day. Now, we both know, everybody knows this watching this right now, that there's a difference between a king and an owner. Okay, those are two different things. So you have two different Qurans saying two different things right here. King of the day versus owner of the day. Which one is it? Which one's the real Quran? Can the real Quran stand up, please? You know what I'm saying? All right. So there you go. That's one of the biggest examples that I can give you guys. But there's over 50 of these variants when it comes to the Qurans and the different Qurans. And then also there's a bunch of other Qurans as well. Let me see if I can scroll up and show you guys some of these. So as you can see right here, these are all different Qurans which are used by different people in different regions of the world. You have the Wash, Kalun, Al-Duri, Kalaf, Hafs, and then here you have the three basically recited or recorded by these individuals over here: Jamaz, Wardan, Ruiz, Ra, Ishaq, and Haddad. So you have several Qurans. There's even more Qurans than this, actually. Okay, but that was just basically to show the people that the whole rhetoric that we hear about the Quran being unchanged, etc., is all nonsense. Okay, all right. So now let's see what else do we got here before I turn in for some questions right quick. Okay, so Prophet, take any guardian. Yeah, I've been commanded to be the first to submit. So, okay, some of these are basically what you would call contradictions, but I'm not really going to go into them because here, this verse, for instance, is showing that Muhammad believes that he's the first to submit. And then you find other instances in the Quran where it talks about some other individuals were the first to submit. For instance, it talks about the Egyptians, where some of the Egyptians were the first to submit after they got beat up by Moses. So you find other stories like that where they all have this claim to be the first to submit, and I'm the first to submit here. This is another instance of Muhammad claiming is the first to submit, and and then this one right here is the Egyptians, the magicians that were beat up by Moses. They are basically saying, we really hope that our Lord will forgive our sins as we are the first to believe. So they're submitting too. Okay, so that's just to show the different corruptions, or should I say, sorry, contradictions that you find in the Quran. And then let's see. Let's see. It's over. Just give me a second right quick. Let me get this together. Okay, so now we're going to look at the Ida verses, okay? 65, Surah, what's this? Surah 465? 65 verse 4, sorry. Okay, so this is the Ida verse. Let me just share my screen. Okay, so this is just to show you people the depravity that you find in Islam, all right, the Quran. Now, let me make this statement clear. Okay, I do not hate Muslims. Okay, I do not hate the people. I love Muslims. I love the people. I believe that Muslim people, for the most part, are, more righteous than their scriptures. Okay, for instance, if I ask any Muslim today who's living here today, would you still adhere to this verse right here? They're all going to deny and say, nah, we wouldn't do it today, right? But you do still find this being practiced in some places in the Muslim world right now as we speak. But anyways, let me read it. And this is Surah 65:4. Okay, this is from the Quran. All right, so this says, as for your women past the age of menstruation, in case you do not know, their waiting period is 3 months. And those who have not menstruated as well, as As for those who are pregnant, their waiting period ends with delivery. And whoever is mindful of Allah, he will make their matters easy for them. So basically, this is talking about 3 categories of women. It's talking about women who are past the age of menstruation. So that's talking about women in menopause. And then it's talking about women who have not menstruated yet. So that one encompasses the young who are prepubescent, meaning they haven't even began their monthly menstruation. Okay. And then it speaks about pregnant women. Okay. So basically what this is a safeguard for, divorcing a woman while she's pregnant or she might be pregnant, right? So you give them 3 months to see if she might be pregnant or not. And after that 3 months, if you don't see anything, you can let her go. Okay, so that's basically what this law is talking about. But then it's allowing for you to marry a prepubescent girl, all right, have intercourse with her, then divorce her. Okay.
Damn, Easy Bandz, you bringing out some stuff here, bro. Damn.
Word up. Word.
You bringing out some power. Where's Brother Lie? You got to answer all this, man.
So say word, Brother Lie, the people didn't show up yet?
I seen Brother Lie earlier in the chat. Now I think he hiding now. He's hiding.
They're gonna have to defend this, because this is Quran. All right?
I don't think they can defend this.
It ain't no defending.
Yeah, ain't no defense for this.
And so let's see. They always talk about tafsir. Let's see what the tafsir say on this. Let's see what the tafsir say. Okay, Allah exalts up due to older age. He does 3 months. Monthly Syria, those who menstruate, the same for the young. So here you go. So here you go, brother. You see that? So it says the same for the young who have not reached the years of menstruation. So I'm not making this up. Even their own tafsir says that's what it's talking about. Okay, so don't let them come and say, oh, nah, this is just talking about women who are not able to menstruate. No, it's not. It's talking about the young who have not reached the years of menstruation yet. Okay, people? So this is what you find in the Quran. Okay, so this is why I say most Muslims, I love Muslims, and most Muslims, I think are more righteous than the scriptures that you find in this book. Okay, because this book, like I said, allows for prepubescent pedophilia, basically. I don't want to use that word, it's my bad, but that's what it allows for in black and white, plain English, and even the tafsirs can't hide that. All right, y'all? And you find this being practiced even till this day. Okay, you practice in certain areas in the Islamic world. Okay, now the thing is, you can't look at those people and get mad at them because they're just following their holy scriptures. The holy scripture says, yo, Muhammad did it. You look at the hadiths. Aisha, how old was Aisha? She was 6 years old when basically they got betrothed. And then apparently, allegedly, according to majority of the hadith and the literature on it, she was 9 years old when he consummated with her. Okay. Now, a lot of the jurisprudence, which is the schools of thought when it comes to Islam and it comes to this topic, say that if the father believes that the girl can handle the pain or whatever that may be, that then she could be allowed to engage in intercourse and even get married, etc., married off. So they'll do like an eye test and see, all right, boom, is this kid chubby or whatever it may be. So they used to, some of the practices they would do is actually like feed the kid. You know how like farmers will fatten a cow or whatever it may be before the slaughter? They would do something similar. They would feed the kid with, fatty foods, etc., to get the kid chubby or whatever it may be, and then allow the kid to engage in that. So just imagine the depravity that's going on with this, with these revelations here. Okay. So that's dangerous. I think, Brother Sa, if you have any questions, I want to just stop there right quick. And, we can go over some of the things that I've talked about. And, so that I'm not all over the place, because this is a lot of information I'm putting out there. So if you don't mind, I'd say let's just stop here for now.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Is it all right if I bring up God Energy? He might have a question.
Yeah. Perfect.
All right. God Energy, what up? You there?
Yes.
Do you have any questions, brother, pertaining to the information that he brought out?
So yeah, a lot of the information he brought out, I wanted to drop in an Islam presentation. I got that waiting. So shout out to the brother. He's on point with a lot of the information that he brought. I know Kalem, the brother from Titans, he refers to Suleiman Dast, who wrote before the Quran.
Yes.
And I do have a question for you, Easy Bandz, but I want to quote from before the Quran in support of the brother Kalem, because it sums up the point you were trying to make about Ethiopia. Page 144 says, there is reason to believe that the events triggered by the persecution of Christians in Najran by a Himyarite Jewish king, right, led to heightened religious sensibilities, coloring the actions of the new Aksumite vicegerency in South Arabia, right? So the Aksumites had conquered South Arabia, right, with renewed zeal to spread Christianity in the region. So because the Jewish Himyarites had subjected the Christians in Najran, the Aksumites went to South Arabia to defend the Christians in Najran. But it also made the Aksumites want to spread Christianity even more. And Suleiman Dast goes on to say that the Ethiopians who crossed the Red Sea to save their co-religionists, talking about the Christians in Najran, saw their mission through a biblical lens. And it's clear from their inscriptions. So he's talking about Aksumite inscriptions, and he says, as we shall see, those inscriptions constitute the only material evidence for the presence of the Bible in the entire Arabian Peninsula before Islam. So when you find Christianity in specifically the Hejaz, where Islam comes from, it is through the Aksumites that Christianity comes into Arabia, and not through the Romans or the Byzantines. Which is why, exactly, Easy Bandz, I was cheering you on the whole time you were doing this, brother. So look, this is why no matter how much the Quran, like you says, refer to the Injil, and it talks about, look back to the Christians and these things. So it supports the Christians, but you also see that when it does speak against Christianity, it's speaking against Trinitarian Christianity pushed by the Byzantines, right? The Tawhid, you have the phrase, say not three, for God is one and has no son. That's speaking against Trinitarian doctrine, not Christianity as a whole. And that's from Surah 4, right? That's from Surah An-Nisa. Or you have the Dome of the Rock inscription by Abd al-Malik. I'm going to get to my question in a second. You have the Dome of the Rock inscription.
Man, cook, brother.
No doubt, brother. You have the Dome of the Rock inscription that says there is no God but God alone, and he has no associate, speaking against Jesus. Then you have in Surah Al-Kihals, it says God does not beget, nor is he begotten. And we know that's specifically talking about the Nicene Creed and the relationship of Jesus. But this is all Trinitarian doctrine that the Quran is speaking against, and not Christianity as a whole. So my question to you, Easy Bandz, in light of all that information, would you see from the historical analysis, would you see the early Islamic movement as possibly being what the Byzantines and Catholics would have considered a heretical Christian sect or Christian movement? Would you feel comfortable associating the early movement of Islam with being a pretty much Judeo-Christian Arab movement? How do you feel about that?
Yes, so I think I would, like, so with my hypothesis, because I won't say I agree, but I look at Brother Callum's hypothesis, I look at it as very plausible. So if that's plausible, I could see that. And I always, when I looked at some of the like inscriptions, I think is it Abraham who has some inscriptions basically and he has a code where he uses Messiah. He doesn't use the he doesn't use the formula, the Trinitarian formula. Instead of using Jesus, the Son, the inscription used is the Messiah, right? So, I would say I looked at the Nestorian, right? Like the or whatever it may be. And from my perspective, I thought that was my hypothesis. I thought that, the people that created the Quran probably came from that sect, or that they had a monastery in Saudi Arabia as well, Nestorian. So I'd say that, it would be more in line with the Nestorian, sect. So I could see it being like a Christian, originating from a Christian sect, like a heretic sect, that didn't believe in the Trinitarian Christianity. And so I could see that being plausible.
Okay. And me coming from a non-believer, secular, heretical and all of that, I that wouldn't apply from my perspective, right? But what I would say is not all Christians were
I'm just describing it technically for
I get what you mean. Unitarian Christianity, right? I believe that Islam would represent more of the Unitarian interpretation of Christianity. Even the doctrine of Tawahid, right? You still find that in Christian theologies today, right? So these concepts of that oneness has always been a part of the Christian interpretation, which was amongst the multiple interpretations of the early Gospels.
But
and
go
ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say because a lot of the Unitarian sects, some of them look at Jesus as God, like, you get me? So just the fact that
I get that.
Trinity, there's no Trinity, it still doesn't discount the fact that some of them look at Jesus as God, and that would not be compatible with
but
Islam.
We know others did not.
There are others.
There are those that did. So thank you for bringing up the nuances. But overall, you know where I'm coming from.
Yep, I get it, and that's why I don't know if you've seen some of the scriptures that I read, some of the literature that I read, but I basically went over some of the verses that basically talk about how the believers or the followers of Jesus would be dominant, or were dominant, over the disbelievers. So what do you think about that? You know what I'm talking about?
So I saw some of the things you read, right, that parallel in the Old Testament. I'm not sure if I caught that part. Right, I'm not sure if I caught that part, so you could bring it back up if you want. But I also wanted to add, there are 30 different Qurans. I know I caught that part where you brought that up, but there are just so the people know, right? Just like there are all of these different versions of the Bible, the King James Bible, the Geneva Bible, the NIV. There are 30 different editions of the Quran as well.
Yes, sir. Will the real Quran stand up, right? But yeah, all right. So okay, so here we go. Let me just share my let me share my screen, if you don't mind, sir. Let me know when we're sharing.
Want to get some more questions from the brothers?
Okay, I just wanted to share. All right, let me just read it to you then. All right.
No, I'll share it.
Yeah, I just want to show God God energy. I almost said God logic. I just want to show God energy what I was talking about. So this is Surah 3:55. And it says, remember when Allah said, "Oh Jesus, I would take you and raise you up to myself. I would deliver you from those who disbelieve and elevate your followers above the disbelievers until the day of judgment." Okay. Then to me you will all return and I will settle your disputes. So this basically is saying that
I get that.
Allah would elevate Jesus's followers and above the disbelievers until the day of judgment.
Thank you, and that would lend greatly to this originating as an early Christian movement. I feel like that surah right there also lends to the fact that Jesus is mentioned in the Quran more than the title Muhammad is mentioned in the Quran. So in a book where Jesus is the most named prophet, you would expect to see a statement like that. But when you look at those things, it recontextualizes what you even perceive Islam as. So, brother Easy Bandz, can I ask you, do you mind if I do a follow-up presentation? It's completely complementary to this one, but do you mind if I do a follow-up presentation on Islam soon?
No, hey man, go ahead. And this is part of the reason why I'm doing this, man. I want the conversation to build. I want people to join in and let's make this something we talk about because it's really important, man. Like Brother Saad talked about, we have Islam, growing, and when you go dig into the Quran and some of the literature, you find that some of this stuff can be very detrimental. And so I really want this to be something that we talk about from now on. We focus a lot on Christianity. I'm never running. I'm always going to be here to back up Christianity. I know Brother Apostle over there. He's going to stand up with us. Brother DMG. We got a bunch of people that's going to defend Christianity. But I want the topic now to be on Islam. That's what I want, man. And let's see if they can handle the heat the way we've been handling it for 2,000 years plus now.
Perfectly said. Let me move on over to Apostle.
Thanks for the questions, God Energy. Appreciate it.
No doubt.
Yeah, buddy. Yes, sir. That's why I say, brother lie. You got a lot to answer to. True, brother lie. And I lie not. You sat here and you said you tried to make Jesus of the Torah different from Jesus in the Quran. Difference. Jesus of the Quran is different from Jesus in the Torah. You tried to make that difference, and you were willing to lie in order to establish that.
You got him.
Now you got to come up here and really defend your statement of supporting Morpheus over the Quran as a Muslim. You say Morpheus was right.
Right.
Damn. You got him now, Apostle. You got him now, Apostle. And this is why
to believe.
And this is why he ducking. He ain't hit his panel. He ain't gonna hit this panel.
You're supposed to believe in the prophet as much as you believe in Muhammad. How dare you say that the prophet is a liar?
Oh, man.
How dare you do that, brother? Huh? I'm not biting my words, brother lie. Until you do it, I'm going to stand on it.
Right? Apostle, take this in, right? Surah An-Nisa 4, verses 171 says the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, it says was only a messenger of Allah and his word. It says Jesus was Allah, the word of Allah. And it also says he was a spirit from Allah. Okay. Now, on top of that, so he was the word of Allah. He was a spirit from Allah, which sounds very eerily like what you find in the Bible. And then also, another thing is you find that Jesus actually formed a bird out of clay and breathed life into it, and it animated and flew away. So you find that
the Quran teach, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you find that in the Quran.
Yes, that's what one of the early miracles.
You know they talk about Jesus way more than they talk about Prophet Muhammad in the Quran.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Because
They called Jesus' name in the Quran 900 times. I googled it. 900 times, bro.
Right.
Google it and see. I just did it.
Right.
All right.
I was like, damn.
Not only is
The answer, bro. You got to talk, brother.
listen, man, and I don't hear nobody bringing this out. Not only is he the logos, he's the Rhema. Y'all
He's the what?
check that word out, Rhema. Rhema.
What that mean, brother?
It means to be highly exalted.
Oh.
He's highly exalted.
In the Quran or the Bible you talking about?
I'm talking about the Bible.
Okay.
The Quran. He's Rhema.
Yep. So and then another thing, Apostle, is that on Judgment Day in the end times, right? Jesus is supposed to return and judge all of mankind.
All of mankind.
That's what the Quran says.
All of man. That's the Bema.
Right? So
Whoa, hold up. I just caught that, easy man. You said in the Quran it talks about Jesus gonna be the one to judge all mankind.
Yes.
Right. His
Not the last and still of the prophets who they say is Prophet Muhammad.
No.
Wow.
Jesus will come back and be the king and judge mankind, basically.
Hey, yo, you know what? I had Brother La on my early show. And Brother La was in there talking that talk. He said, I'm going to bring some Muslims over, and they're going to be writing in the chat in Arabic. I think they're watching, but they don't want to hit this link. You got him. You got him on their heels, Easy Bandz.
Come on, Brother La. Come on, bro. Like, yo, listen, just come on. Let's talk about it. I'm not going to be harsh. Like I said, I love Muslims. I love you. You're my brother, bro. Just come up here and defend it, man. Defend the deen. You know, we're going to be cordial after this. You know, we'll shake hands, whatever it may be. And, you know, but just come on here, defend the deen, man. Don't be, you know, you got sa.neter saying you're scared now, man.
Brother La sitting back, relaxing, chilling. But yo, Apostle, for real, refrain from the lie, though, brother. Don't call him brother La.
Man,
no, listen, Apostle. Come on, he don't call you name. He respect you, Apostle.
Listen,
brother La, he do respect you though. He don't call you names and none of that. So you can get at him and bang on him, but refrain from that because you know other people gonna start saying the same crap. You know that, brother.
Yeah.
Brother, you know I don't use that word lightly.
Yeah, I know.
Whenever you call me that, I always defend myself, mate.
Right. So don't use that. Don't call you that.
But that's what he did.
No, it don't mean he did that.
No, man. No, you can't. No, look, a lie is a lie.
All right, let me go to brother Elder Yara. What's going on, Elder Yara? What are you thinking about what you see, brother?
Hey man, let me tell you something, man. Shout out to sa.neter, man. Shout out to the HOK, man.
Word.
Shout out to Apostles of Quan, man, and anybody else that's on the panel I can't really see because I'm on the big screen. But Easy Bandz.
God energy on the panel.
Oh, God energy. Shalom to you, brother. Shalom. Peace to God energy.
Peace, brother.
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings, brother Yara, man. What's going on with you, brother?
Listen. Easy Bandz. They are not ready. They in the chat squealing. They in the chat clutching their pearls.
Oh man.
They in the chat, man. Look, beating themselves about the brow and the face. Hey, man, this is probably one of the most Christian beatdowns on the HOK I've ever heard, bro.
Jeez.
This is a beatdown beyond the beatdowns.
Yeah, it is. I got
no
myself. I agree.
Hey, listen, there's no argument against what Easy Bandz presented because he didn't present anything of conjecture. He read from the source material.
Yes, sir.
What are y'all arguing about?
What are y'all gonna do about it?
Black and white,
what you
man.
gonna do about it? You can't do anything about it but bow down to Easy Band's God.
Word up, man. Oh, glory to the Most High, man.
That's all y'all got. That's all y'all got. There's no other response. He came with the sword. He came with the heat. Y'all couldn't take it. Well, the usual suspects, they can never take it anyway. We're not talking about them. We know who we talking about.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I love. Yes, sir.
Easy Band told her how they brought out 2 for 1.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
two slaves for 1.
Absolutely. And I like. Yeah, let me say this, man. I like what Easy Bandz brought out. I love what God Energy brought out.
Yes, sir.
Because that's not a lot of information that I would say most Muslim Americans are privy to.
No, you're right. You're right.
They don't understand that even before there was what Muhammad did was there was a polytheistic cult happening in the Arabian Peninsula. They were worshiping stones and rocks.
Yes, sir.
And what he came and did sort of a kind of reformation that came to be known as this this current version of Islam we have. He did have black slaves, right? We know the story of Bilal.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, this is not information that the slightest Muslim, even the Nation of Islam, the Fruit of Islam, whether you from the school of Wallace or Wali Farad, whichever one you want to come from, right? You can't argue with this information. That's why I told you, sa.neter, to bring on what's those brothers? The sons of gods and earth. And what's those other brothers?
The God bodies you talking about?
Yeah, those brothers, man. Like it's only a bad revision of the Nation of Islam and Fruit of Islam teaching, man. And they don't and they don't even actually teach Islam. If y'all really knew this, what actual Islam is, they're not even close. But y'all think that's what Islam is. It's not that. They don't even teach that, right? And I want to make this one point, and I want to put this to Easy Bandz and God Energy, because I brought this out to Reggie a few years ago. It's even in one of the presentations that I do. When people talk about how slaves that were taken from the west coast of Africa or the right coast of Africa in the transatlantic slave trade, that they had no understanding of concept of Christianity. But I always postulate that that's wholly incorrect, because as Easy Bandz brought out, the Muslims would have carried the understanding of the Torah and the Injil or the Gospels into the west coast of Africa. And we know that it existed because Ezekiel Muhammad, watch this, in 1492 talks about it.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So we know that before the transatlantic slave trade occurred, before the doctrine of discovery was came about, they knew of Christianity. They knew who Jesus was.
Yep. So that
on the west coast of Africa, in Mali.
Yes, sir.
So this is what I mean about this. There's a whole lot of I'm glad what you brought out, Easy Bandz, and I'm jumping off out of here, that the Quran has been corrupted. And this is what we're learning about a lot of these later texts that we're reading. They've been corrupted through racism and white supremacy.
I agree 100%.
Right?
I agree 100%. And
to keep us away from that power.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Elder, we're going to have to change that date for Saturday, man.
Not tomorrow.
Huh?
Why not tomorrow?
I don't know, but that's what if he can do it tomorrow,
If he,
we can.
yeah, just call me.
Yeah,
Just
I'll
call
call
me
you.
Yeah,
and
get him in tomorrow.
We had set it
we'll
up
just do it around the
again
same
for
time.
Saturday, but my wife just told me I got an appointment on
Oh,
Saturday.
okay. Hey,
Yeah,
let me
yeah, no
ask
problem.
you, Easy Bandz.
Yeah.
Now we
Yes,
got
sir.
one of your victims that just hit the link that's on your he's on
Yes,
your
sir.
title. What do Ankh have to do with this, brother? I'm just curious.
Nothing. He don't know nothing about it.
No. The reason I'm asking him is because Easy Bandz have him on the list right here.
Yes, sir.
He says,
Oh,
Ankh,
really?
Sekou, and Brother La get the smoke. So
Yes, sir.
what does Ankh, what did Ankh do, brother?
So, brother Ankh, man, it just seems like now because I heard the last time he was like, "Hey, man, I'm not in it," you know, I'm not in it. But so it seems like he's just you know, what do they call it?
Falling back. He's falling back.
No, it's something casualty, something. You know when you know, you get caught up in the crossfire.
Right.
I think that's brother Ankh right now. So this is what happened, man. I was trying to present.
If I was you, I would just make him apologize. That's all.
Yeah,
Make him apologize.
Hey, brother Ankh, what do you want to say about it, man?
I think it's foolish for believers that's in the same house on different floors to talk reckless and crazy about each other. I think it'd be ridiculous because as you burn down one floor, the whole house will catch on fire.
Nope.
Islam, Christianity, and Judaism being the base floor, Christianity being the second floor, and Islam being the top floor. If you kill one, you kill the other. I would like to also say that Islam was in West Africa before Christianity. There's no Jesus Christ in West Africa before Islam. There's no information that will back that. That's a complete foolery statement right there. I heard somebody say it. I heard him say it. As a matter of fact, I went to the museum to prove otherwise. Me and Reggie met at the museum. We had a great look at Christianity. We seen it in West Africa, right? We seen what time it was, and it definitely wasn't prior to that. So
What are
yeah,
you talking about, Unc? Them got verses and paper
no, we're not
that
talking.
came
Come
out
on,
in
bro. You are?
1492
Hey, bro,
from the five chapters.
I'm in the middle of
No, don't
talking,
cut him
dog.
off.
I was
Don't
in the
cut him
middle
off.
of talking.
Pastor, don't cut him off. Let him go.
What is wrong with the apostle? Get your voice fixed, man. You sound like you ain't got your voice just gone and loud and crazy. Right there, I said Islam is in West Africa before Christianity is what I said. And I said it very clear. Very clear. It wasn't skewed. It was very clear, yo. There's no Jesus Christ in wisdom in West Africa before the Portuguese. Simple as that. No one disputes that. There's some guys running around trying to play this wild game, but you won't find no artifacts. All right. Now, as for Easy Band, add me to the list. I didn't even hear what he said about me, but he knows they call me God Killer for a
He ain't
reason.
about you. Unc. He ain't mention you.
So let me
Okay,
let me
good. That's
clarify.
great. So I'm out of it.
Hold on.
I'm out of it then.
So no. Come back in here, man, because you came out here. You know,
I'm out of it.
I tried to give you grace, man, but you came out here beating your chest. You know what I mean? So let's see what you're working with. I presented
I can't defend Islam. I can't. I ain't gonna lie to you,
Okay,
bro.
so all right, so you're out of it.
Yeah, I can't defend it. What I will, I said what I had to say. I can't defend it.
All right, bet.
I tried. I like having fun with everybody, though. I ain't gonna lie.
All right. Let me get let me move on to Jose. Jose, what's up, brother?
Jose.
Good night. At the risk of actually agreeing with Bandz, Muslims are your brothers. Hebrews are your brothers. You can't bad talk them. It doesn't work that way.
No, he's not bad talking them. He already put a disclaimer up that he don't hate Muslims. He's talking about the doctrine. Yeah. That's what he's talking about. The information.
You can't critique the doctrine because it's all part of the same Abrahamic faith. So he's not allowed.
Did you not listen to what I just presented to you?
Not a word.
Apparently not.
Yeah, you gotta see what he's talking about, man. He showed.
All right,
my bad.
All right, so Jose.
So Jose, what? I apologize.
All right, cool. So let me just give you a quick summary of what I did, right? I presented what's called the Islamic dilemma, and the Islamic dilemma basically shows here. I'll share this right quick. The first one that I dropped. So this, for instance, is the part of the Quran, right? And what I'm saying is that it's confirming the previous scriptures, like the Injil and the Torah, right? But then the problem is that the Injil and the Torah debunk the Quran. Okay, so the Quran is confirming and affirming the previous books, but when you read the previous books, they disqualify the Quran as being the word of God. So here we go. If you, O Prophet, are in doubt about that we have revealed to you, then ask those who read the scripture before you. So this is Allah telling Muhammad in the Quran itself that if you're in doubt about what I have revealed to you, go and ask the Christians and the Jews, the ones who read the scriptures before you, for clarity. So here we go. The Quran is basically affirming the previous books. Is saying that, you know, Allah is the one that revealed the Injil and the Torah, the previous scriptures. But when you read the previous scriptures, they debunk the Quran. And then I also went ahead and showed reasons why, you know, the Quran and some of the literature is problematic. For example, I showed the Ida verses where let me see if I can find them, where you find there's an allowance. Here we go. You find that there's an allowance for men to marry underage prepubescent girls and consummate with them. Okay. And then it gives you instructions. So this is what it says. As for your women past the age of menstruation, in case you do not know, their waiting period is 3 months. Okay, so the women past menstruation are the women in menopause. And then it says, and those who have not menstruated as well. Okay, and when it's talking, what it's talking about by those who have not menstruated, it's talking about girls who are prepubescent. As for those who are pregnant, their waiting period ends with delivery. Okay, so that's another verse that's very problematic because it's allowing for intercourse with prepubescent girls. And I showed also a hadith where Muhammad basically is a slave trader. He sells 2 black slaves for 1 non-black slave. Okay, I showed various instances of this. I showed also, for instance, how the Bible here basically talks about. So it says this: but even if we or an angel from heaven should preach a gospel other than the one that we have preached to you, let them be under God's curse. So this is one of the examples from the Bible showing that the Quran is, you know, disqualified, because as we can both tell by now, the Quran teaches a doctrine that's different from the one that you find in the Gospels. Okay, so just from that alone,
it's not that different.
so hold on, from that alone, right? I just read you summary. I just read you that the Quran confirms and affirms the previous books, but then I'm reading you what the previous books say, right? If an angel or if we or an angel from heaven should preach a gospel other than the one that we preach to you, let them be under God's curse. So the Quran is disqualified by this one statement right here, although there's several. All right. Then I showed you what's problematic about some of the scriptures, like prepubescent girls having intercourse, etc., etc. I showed you the hadith with Muhammad being a slave owner and trading slaves. I showed you also the hadith offspring, Adam's offspring. The ones on the right come out white and they go to paradise. The ones on the left come out black and they go straight to hell. Okay. So what do you have to say about some of these? You can't just say we're all one face. So I can't talk.
I'm going to say it again. You don't get to talk about slavery as a Christian, and you don't get to talk about sexual misconduct as a Christian either.
Bro, how about you talk about what I'm talking about?
Bible, I'm telling you, the Bible has some sexual misconduct and it condones slavery, so you don't get to do that.
Brother, you don't see Jesus selling slaves, trading black slaves. Jesus didn't have any black. You don't see that. But brother, why not talk about, brother?
That's what it says.
Brother, so you basically you're condoning Muhammad selling 2 black slaves for 1 non-black slave.
That's not what I said. Did you hear what I said?
So what are you saying?
Your Bible condones slavery and sexual misconduct, so you cannot critique anybody on those 2 things.
No, so you have it. Nope, that's a lie. It doesn't.
It does not.
It says slaves obey your earthly masters. Yes, it does.
No, well, when it says slaves obey your earthly masters, is it talking about slaves as in the antebellum South slavery, or is it
No.
talking about an employee and employer relationship?
Yes.
Because I can take
Slaves,
you to the
no,
Greek
no,
and
no,
show
no,
you.
Yara.
Listen,
Slaves
listen,
don't
listen
get
before
paid.
you cut me off.
Slaves don't
Listen,
get paid, bro.
listen before
Don't
you
do
cut me off.
Don't do that.
I can
Slaves
take
don't
you
get
into the
paid.
Greek. Listen, I can take you to the Greek language and show you the difference.
Slaves don't get paid.
It's easy.
Slaves don't get paid.
Because listen, Deuteronomy chapter 24:25 says, man stealing, right? Man stealing is against the law.
Yes.
No, you stop it.
The Bible says
And
slaves
punishable
obey your
by
master.
death.
No, listen, bro. Listen,
Stop it,
listen,
stop it.
listen. When it's talking about slaves, they didn't even use the word slave. The word was ibed
Which means
or
what?
ibed, and it only carried 4 connotations, right? One, if you had a debt to pay, you could work it off. It would be called an ibed or ived. If you were a criminal and you had to pay restitution, you were called an ived, right? If you were an indentured servant, that means you offered to work for someone for a number of years.
And that was
You
majority
would
of
be
the
called.
case.
That was the majority of the case, right?
Right.
You
And
would
on
be
the
called a
7th year,
slave.
you had to be set free.
And on the 7th year, which is what we still practice, that's what we get 7-year bankruptcy from. Comes from the Torah.
Why don't stop it, man? Stop.
Listen. Your debt would be erased. Listen, your debt would be erased, and you would no longer be considered a slave.
Yes, sir.
So stop with the lies, because you're wrong. Hold on. You're just wrong, and I guarantee you won't get on the clock with anybody about it. Get on the clock.
Who told you that?
Word.
Who told
I'm
you
telling you. I'm telling you, you won't
think
do it.
somebody's scared to debate you or anybody?
I'm telling you,
Clearly
you
not.
can't do it.
You think that. You keep
Okay,
thinking
Jose.
You keep
Don't
thinking
get off
that.
topic.
Jose.
Yeah,
the
don't
truth
get
of
off
the
topic.
matter.
Don't get off topic.
The truth of the matter, Jose, is what Elder Yara is saying is actually true, man. And this is the problem, right? This is the problem with trying to compare that with what you find with the Atlantic slave trade, or even in Islam, the Islamic slave trade. You find that there's a big difference. The Islamic slave trade and the Atlantic slave trade are very, very similar in terms of how the people were treated.
let me pose a
all right?
question to
Now,
you.
there's a big difference between
Can I ask
that
you
and
a
what you
question?
find in the Bible. So hold on, brother. Now, I'm pushing back on you because it seems like you're over here stop me from bringing up what's going on in Islam in regards to
That's not what I said.
slavery.
I never said that. That's not what I
That's
said.
exactly. You said
That's not what I said.
no reason.
I told
You said
you.
there's no reason.
Let me repeat myself.
Hold on,
because
brother.
didn't
You
hear
said
me.
there's no reason I should be
I said
talking
you
about this
can't
as a Christian.
critique
You said I can
Islam
critique,
because those
but I'm
things are
telling
in the Bible.
but I'm
The
telling you,
biggest slave
we're
owners
showing,
in history were Christians.
brother.
So
I'm
don't
showing
play
you
that
the
with
Actually,
difference.
that's not
You
true.
know
Arabs
better.
were. Arabs were. They had the longest and the biggest slave
Eliara,
trade.
why don't
The
you
Arabic
It's still
slave
going on to
trade.
this day,
debate later?
and it's
The
still going on to
Arabic
this day.
slave trade
I'm
is
gonna
the
wipe the floor with
is
you,
the
so
largest
we
and
can deal with that
longest
later.
and continuous slave trade. You just
Till
lied
this day.
again.
Till this
So
day, it's
stop it,
still on.
bro.
Well, the
But there's
ignorancy
slave,
just
yo, there's
among
slave
our
markets.
people, man, is, I mean, I don't know if anybody went to school.
Jose, they got
The
slave
level
markets.
of ignorancy among our people. I mean, they can't even identify what they went through.
It's crazy.
You too, Apostle. You need to stop talking.
Yeah, me
because all
too.
just
You
like
don't
to
know
run
what you're
your mouth.
talking about.
You don't know
You
nothing
deal with
about history.
DMX. I
I
mean,
would
with
wipe the floor with you too.
DMG. All
You
right?
making me mad.
That's
You
what
making
you
me
need to be
mad. You making me
concentrating
mad
on.
too.
That debate
just
you got
talking.
coming up.
You just talking, bro.
Okay?
You're gonna be next
You
on the
worry
list.
about
You
that
and Yara
debate
could
you
get
got
some.
coming up.
You and
Yeah, but
Yara
Jose-
could get
about.
some too if you want.
All right?
Because you
Yeah,
making
but
me
Jose,
mad. 'cause
Jose,
you just talking.
Jose, you realize that the Arab slave trade is still going on to this day in Libya. They're selling black people in open air markets, brother. You know that, right?
I'm not denying that, bro.
Okay, so look, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, if you look at the way those people are treated, even today, right, it's very similar to what you find in the Atlantic slave trade, brother. You feel me? But then,
I'm gonna say it
but
again.
hold on. But
you
then,
don't
but then,
get to be a moral authority.
yes,
when
I do.
Christians
Yes,
were
I do,
enslaving
because these
people.
are two different
don't
things
want to
that
hear
we're
you say
talking
that.
about. And you failed unless you can prove to me that what you find in the Bible is the same as the Atlantic slave trade, what our ancestors went
Chattel
through,
slavery.
and what
So you don't
chattel
know.
slavery, basically.
So you don't
If you-
know something called the doctrine of
No,
discovery.
if you can prove,
You
if
don't
you
know what
because
that
if you can't prove that, hold on. If you can't
You don't
prove
know
that,
that then.
your brother Jose, listen. If you can't prove that, you should just concede, bro. What you're doing doesn't make sense
I'm
unless you
not
can prove that.
conceding because the Catholic Church were individuals who said, if you're not Christian, we can take your land and enslave you. And if you don't know that, then you should.
No. So you're talking about political. You're talking
no,
about
the
political.
Catholic Church.
No, you're talking about political policies, bro. Yes, but it was, but it was influenced by politics, bro. That wasn't.
I don't care what it's influenced by.
That wasn't. Listen, that wasn't Christian. Listen, that wasn't Christian doctrine. Okay, and even now, you could find in 2023 where they publicly released a statement, basically,
like you ain't hear what I'm saying.
Basically saying that was not Christian doctrine, bro.
That
was all politics. No, it wasn't.
It wasn't Christian doctrine.
It wasn't, bro.
All right, hold on, y'all. Hold on. I disagree with my brother Jose. Easy Bandz have a right and in his opinion to bring in his information with facts, and that's what he did. And if you're going to say he can't talk about it because the Bible talks about slavery, well, guess what? Jose?
Yeah.
Black people can't talk about it either because black people own slaves way before the Civil War. So if you want to go that route, then none of us. Hold on. Then none of us shouldn't be talking about slavery. If that's the case,
I would challenge you to show me slavery in Africa. I would challenge you.
No. I said black people in here in America own slaves, man. You didn't know that? That was way before the Civil War, brother.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And another thing, Easy Bandz, I'm surprised you didn't bring out, and I don't know if you got it, you might have it, the 6 pillars of Allah. Do you know what the third pillar is?
No, let me find out.
The third pillar of Allah is to believe in all the books, including the Torah.
Yes.
To believe in the books, the Torah. That's the sixth. That's the third pillar and mandatory for all Muslims.
Holy.
Go type in the pillars of Allah.
I'm looking
what are the 6 pillars of Allah?
Okay, so so first, belief in Allah.
Yep.
The second one is belief in his angels. The third, belief in his revealed books.
There you go. See, that's the third one.
Hey man, drop a bomb for yourself, man. Holy smokes, man.
Brother La is in trouble, man. Brother La got to answer these questions, bro.
Read the 4th and the 5th and the 6th. I know one has to do with prayer. Salah.
All right.
Yes.
So the 4th one, it says belief in his messengers. 5th one says belief in the last day, judgment day. And then the 6th one says belief in a divine decree. Belief in divine decree. Basically.
I thought it was one about prayer.
Well, that's one of the
pillars too.
That's not
pray 5 times a day.
But that's mandatory too, to pray though.
Yeah. And then another thing about the prayer, man, you do find that, you see, they talk about Catholics and say, oh, the intercession stuff is, haram or whatever it may be. But you do find that Muslims have a special prayer when they're walking by the graveyard where they talk to the dead.
What? I just want to know if the dead is talking back. That's all.
They talk to the dead, and then there's the other one where they basically every time they pray, I think it's during their 5 prayers, they actually talk to Muhammad too. They say, "Oh Muhammad, peace be upon you, oh Muhammad." You see me? So Muhammad is supposed to be dead. You're not supposed to be praying to Muhammad, but you see that he's invoked within the prayers. So you see that they're asking for intercession, or they're actually talking and praying to these individuals. They pray to the dead close to the graveyards. Let me see if I can find it right here. Hold on. Give me a second.
I have never seen our brother La run, duck, and hide from this here, man. Brother La had a lot of smoke for you, brother, earlier. Right, Apostle?
Yeah.
He was talking about how he gonna come up here and he gonna bring in his friends from over there. They're gonna put Arabic all in the chat. So is it all right if I pass the link? I'm like, go ahead.
Yeah.
So as soon as he seen your opening, he knew it was over.
Yeah.
He was like, man, I'm not hitting that goddamn link.
Hey man, Sa, can you share my screen, please?
Yeah.
So this is basically, I'm just showing you guys these guys talking to the dead. Is my screen sharing? Just let me know when
Yes,
it is.
the screen share.
All right, cool. So this says dua when passing by a graveyard. This is Sahih Muslim, Hadith 975. And it says, peace be upon you, O people of the dwellings, among the believers and Muslims. Indeed, if Allah wills, we will be joining you. I ask Allah for well-being for us and for you. So you see that? He's talking to the dead, praying to the dead. You see? This is Islam, man.
Yeah, but you know what? That's not really too bad because you got regular people that do that. They pass by the gravesite. You ever see them go?
Yep. And
Well,
even
it's the same thing. It's
even
prayer. It's the same thing.
it's like they even pour libations and stuff like that. That's what you mean, right? Yeah,
What's his
but
name?
brother saw that they even pour libations and stuff like that. That's what
Right.
you mean, right?
Exactly. Yep.
But this is the problem, is that you find that Muslims will accuse, Christians or Catholics of asking for intercession or praying to the saints or et cetera, et cetera. But
Yeah.
then they forget to show the people that they actually talk to the dead in their prayer. This is a specific prayer, talking to the dead. And so here's another one right quick. So this one right here is what they are supposed to say. I'm pretty sure this is in every one of their 5 prayers. They're supposed to say this at least once. It says, peace be on you, O Prophet, and Allah's mercy and blessings be on you. So that right there is them invoking Muhammad right there, O Prophet. He's supposed to be dead, right? But they're invoking him in all their 5 prayers. So it gets tricky with Muhammad as well, because there's some verses or there's some rhetoric that would allow you to think that he's more than just a prophet. And this is like one of them, right? And so they're making partners with Muhammad. So yeah, I mean, Brother La, I don't know what happened to Brother La, man. He got beat up. I don't know, man, but it is what it is. Shout out to Brother La. I see DMG, brother DMG in the chat, man. Shout out to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got them running, man. all glory and praises to the Most High. I want
Y'all got the win on this one, DMG. Y'all got the win on this one.
Word.
So
You know
you gonna let him get away with that?
What, brother?
So you're gonna let him critique all of those things, and those same things take place in Christianity?
The reason I gotta let them get away with it is because we've been banging on them for the longest. They got a right to bang back now. And so, especially with Brother La be happy when people bang on the Torah. Nobody ever stopped Brother La. Nobody ever stopped them.
All right. Okay.
Right. Looking like he done swallowed the canary.
Yeah, nobody ever stopped them from banging on them.
So what I want to get out of this as well is,
because I don't want to mess it up for Easy Bandz. I want him to do a show. It's not really about me. I don't want to mess the show up.
Now, Easy Bandz know he's my brother and I love him, but I ain't gonna get away with critiquing and then not looking in his own house,
brother. So you know what I'm finding funny is that you're upset with me rather than the stuff that I'm reading, bro. So I read Surah 65. I read Surah 65. Hold on, brother. Hold on. Yo, let me speak, man. I'll let you speak. So I read Surah 65:4, which talks about men, grown men like you, having intercourse with young girls, prepubescent girls. I got daughters, man. You got daughters?
No.
Okay. So maybe that's why it's not hitting you.
So
if you so you see me reading, hold on. So you see me reading this, right? 65:4. Okay. You see me reading that, and it's allowing prepubescent girls. It's allowing for grown men like you to have intercourse with them and then divorce them. And instead of you being amazed and coming and talking about that, you want to talk about, you have no right to speak on that. What are you doing, brother?
Easy Bandz, I never condone any action. That's not what I say.
So how come you're not talking about? So how come you're not talking about
Easy
these verses
Bandz.
that I'm bringing up?
I don't condone
Easy
nobody's
Bandz,
religion.
you think Brother La sent them over here to,
I don't condone nobody's religion.
That's
you think Apostle, you think Easy Bandz? I mean, you think Brother La sent over Jose Francis to do this?
Nothing past Brother La.
I don't condone none of that. You know that. You know that, sa.neter. I don't condone none of that.
I don't put nothing past Brother La.
Brother La,
Jose.
boy.
You know that. You know I don't
Jose is
condone none of that
defending
behavior.
Jose is defending slavery right now. The slavery of two black. you know, the
I'm
trading
not
of two
defending
black
anything.
slaves. You're defending that.
No,
You're defending
no,
prepubescent
no,
intercourse. You're
He
defending
just
all
saying
this
like
stuff,
you
bro.
don't have a
no,
right to talk about it.
no.
Right.
You
That's
never heard me
what
defend that.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
he's
don't defend
yeah,
that.
yeah.
No,
All
I
right. So
don't.
what do you have to say about those things?
No, I don't defend none of that. All of that is weirdo, disgusting.
But guess what, though? Hey, yo, hold on. Jose, don't make me pull out Shaka Upmost videos. Because you
About what?
support Kemet. You support
Uh-oh.
Kemet.
Hey, they had slaves in Kemet.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Shaka came out
Uh-oh.
and went in on that.
Uh-oh.
About
Listen,
the
man,
slaves
listen,
that the Kemites had.
Oh no.
We know Sobaneferu was going over down there in Libya and grabbing
Listen.
them Libyan slaves and bringing them back.
Listen.
Oh no.
Listen, with all due respect,
Don't play with it.
Shaka Amos.
Don't
Shaka
play
Amos
with it.
is way off of what he
People
was saying.
tied up.
So I'm not agreeing with him.
Some of them that's tied up.
Shaka Amos is not getting no pass for talking crazy. With all due respect, he ain't getting no pass for talking crazy.
Oh,
And
man.
making it seem like it's all right because somebody was doing certain things and it's a dominant thing. That's crazy. That's crazy. You can't talk like that, bro. And make it seem like that's cool. Nah. He don't get no pass neither. The Muslims don't get no pass. The Christians don't get no pass. None of them ain't getting no pass.
Can you share my screen, please, brother?
None of them get no pass with me. You know that, son. They ain't get no pass for that.
I want to
All right,
hear
hold
what
up.
Jose has to say.
Yeah, hold up, y'all. Hold up. Did the ancient Egyptians, the Kemetic people, have they owned any slaves? Let's see what they say.
While you're doing that, show my screen.
The ancient Egyptians, Kemetic people owned slaves is a subject of ongoing debate among historians, largely because the concept of slavery in the ancient world differed significantly from modern chattel slavery. Here is how the system functioned. Labor force. The grand monuments, including the pyramids, were built by paid laborers and citizens fulfilling their corvée labor tax duty, not by enslaved people. The term bak, the Egyptian word often translated as slave or servant, is bak. Individuals in this category could own property, marry free people, and inherit land, meaning they were...
Okay, so damn, Shaka, you wrong on that, Shaka.
But that's what that's what I just broke down about the Bible. It's the same concept.
Jose is right. Jose is right on that one.
No, Jose is not right on that one, and we can show you that. I just gave him.
There is no word.
There you go.
The word is bak, bro. What are you talking about, bro?
Bak means servant, not slave. Bak means servant,
Hey,
not
bro.
slave.
Jose.
A slave is a servant, fool.
Jose, break that
a
down.
slave is not a servant, bro.
Jose, read the Metal Netra. Ask him break that down. Easy Bandz.
Listen,
Jose, look at the picture. Can you see the picture I'm sharing?
Yes.
So who are these individuals that's sitting down, getting flogged and whipped, and they're basically
I can't see the whole text.
subjugated?
I wouldn't know. I can't see the whole text, so I wouldn't know. I don't want to look at it and say that they're slaves, because that may not be true. Because no one is tied up here, so they're not prisoners.
So you said they're not prisoners? It says it depicts.
You don't see the man standing up with the whip.
Did you read the text?
You went blind.
Apostle? No, you didn't.
You don't see that man standing up there with that whip.
It have text
in front of the guy that got the scroll.
If you don't read the text, stop talking loud because you don't know what the text is.
Negro, please.
So it says,
games with me, man.
Stop
yo, listen. So this is the information. It says this relief originates from the Memphite tomb of Horemheb.
I didn't ask you that. I said, did you read the text? No, you didn't. And I
Brother,
bet you.
Okay. So did you read the text?
Etymology that has
hold on.
What the scholars have already determined, bro.
Jose,
it says it depicts. What does the text say, y'all? Right?
It says it depicts Nubian prisoners seated in orderly rows. Hold on, man. It says it depicts Nubian prisoners seated in orderly rows, awaiting registration by Egyptian scribes. Now, if you feel different, show me that these are not prisoners.
I didn't read the text, and there's no translation of the text there.
So what are these things that you're looking at right here? So who are these?
I don't know what it is because I didn't see the text, so I'm not gonna.
Bro, why are they getting flogged? Look at the guy over here with the whip.
I'm not arguing until you show me a translation of the text, which is not there.
Oh man, like yo, bro.
There's no translation of the text there.
To be honest with you, Jose, you're just wasting time, fam.
No, there's no
word
translation
up.
of the text there.
You're just wasting time, bro. And you're being very dishonest, man.
No, I didn't read the text, so I'm not gonna say that they are or they aren't. I didn't read the text. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I didn't see the text.
Read what text?
They have text on there. It's not a picture book. You do know that, right?
It does have
picture
text
book.
on
It
there.
is a picture book.
It has text on there. It's not just a picture. It have text on there. So
It is a picture book. What is it? What is it? What is a pictograph?
Elder Yara, it have text on it. And if you didn't read
But
the
what
text,
is a
then you should be
pictograph?
talking confidently. There's text on there.
What is a pictograph? Here's the problem. Here's the problem again. I just told you. All y'all got
I
to
don't
do is
hear
look
what you
up
said.
Sobek
Read the text.
Neferu.
Other than that, I
So,
don't want to hear what you
I'm
said.
not talking to
so
you, clown. If you just look up Sobek Neferu, she will say that they went down to Libya to replace the slave force. That's what they say. Not servants. They were stealing Libyans from their homeland, man stealing from their homeland, bringing them back to do their work, and they weren't paying them. That's different from the
Right.
corvée workers. I know who the
They're
corvée workers were.
right.
They
They're
were
called
the
prisoners
paid
of
people
war.
of Egypt. Of
They're
Egypt,
called prisoners of war.
right? But listen, no. What is a prisoner of war? A servant?
I'm gonna say it again. They're called prisoners of war. They're
so
called
so what
prisoners
is
of
a
war.
what is a prisoner of
What is
war?
prisoner of war?
There's a debate as to whether there's even a word for slave in the ancient Kemetic language.
Man, what are
That's
you
a
doing,
fact.
bro?
That's
What
a
are you
fact.
doing, man? So
I just read
what are these people right here, man?
It says Bach. What does Bach mean?
Bach means servant.
And they
use the
didn't
word
have
Bach for
servants
servant.
that were slaves.
They use the word Bach
Hold on,
for
hold on.
servant.
They didn't have servants that were slaves. They didn't have servants that were slaves.
I said the word Bach means servant. That's what I said.
I said
don't
they
know
didn't
what you're
have
arguing.
servants that were slaves.
A slave is not a servant. A slave is a slave. Servants get paid.
Okay.
Slaves don't.
What wow, what does a slave do? Do they serve?
A slave is not a servant. We're not doing that. A slave is not a
Do
servant.
slaves serve their masters?
A
Do
slave
slaves
is not a
serve their
servant. Servants
masters?
get paid. It's not the same thing. I'm not
Does
doing
a
that.
slave serve its
I'm not doing
master,
that
bro? That's a
foolishness.
simple question.
I'm not doing
Yeah,
that
that's what I
foolishness with you.
thought. You can't answer the simple
A
question.
slave is not a servant.
Listen, a slave
It's just
serves
listen,
its
bro.
master.
A slave is not a servant. It's not the same thing. Servants get
All
paid.
right, all
Yeah.
right, yo, hold up,
Okay.
hold up, everybody, hold up. Did the ancient Kemetic people have slaves?
Yes,
As
they did,
ancient
man.
Kemetic Egyptian society did have forms of labor that modern historians classify as slavery, though the system evolved significantly over time. Here is how the system functioned. Prisoners of war. During the New Kingdom, large-scale military campaigns resulted in foreign captives being brought back to Kemet. These individuals were often enslaved, owned by the state or temples, and forced to work on major construction projects or agricultural land. Debt servitude. Local citizens could fall into bonded labor due to unpaid debts or poverty. They could sell themselves or their family members into service to survive, though they retained certain legal rights and could eventually buy their freedom. The pyramid builders. A common misconception is that the Great Pyramids were built by enslaved people. Historical and archaeological evidence proves they were actually constructed by a large, highly organized workforce of native Kemetic conscript laborers fulfilling their corvée, labor tax, obligations to the state. While people could be bought, sold, and inherited as property, they were also permitted to marry, own personal property, and even adopt children, making the institution distinct from modern chattel slavery.
All right, so it wasn't like cattle slavery, it was like the people would say. It wasn't like cattle slavery. They would get paid for their labor. They was even able to marry.
That's not all of them.
Yeah.
Not all of them, sa.neter. That's the problem. Because watch this, and this is what they won't tell you. Even if you were a corvée slave in ancient Kemet and you got paid, if you refused to come, because the corvée system was a draft system, they would draft you and come and do the work, but they would pay you so you could send money back to your family. If you refused to come, they could come and take your whole family and force you to work without pay. I got the primary to show it. They got to stop lying, bro. They got to stop lying.
Right there,
They
you
lie
have it.
too much.
All right. Now I want Easy Bandz to show me the word for servant or slave. Describing
So
that.
I'll just read you something from Wikipedia right quick.
I didn't ask you that. I said show me
Brother, you're not putting me on the spot. You're not putting me on the spot. It's you on the spot right now because you're the one making claims that you have to.
I said I didn't read the text.
I've showed you. Hold on, let me finish. We have showed you depictions of prisoners of war being whipped and they're sitting down submissively awaiting their fate. Okay, we've shown you that. All right, so now it's my turn to read. Hold on, let me just read this right quick. What?
Where does it say that in the text on there? What does the text say?
So hold on. So this is from Egypt. This is, hold on, let me just show you something. This is from Egypt Museum, right? And it's basically talking about the depiction that we're seeing. It's describing what we're looking at. Okay.
Where's the translation of the text? I don't want to hear all that long talk.
Brother, I don't care what you want to see, because you're the chemic guy, right?
You're not showing me.
Hold on. You hold on, bro. You should be showing me the text, right? All right. So when we go to the Bible, when sa.neter asks me something about the Bible, I go and answer what I know about the Bible. I answer that, right? I show him the text that proves what I'm saying. I always do that. But when it comes to you guys, when it comes to Muslims, when it comes to Kemet, y'all think that you guys are like the authority. You can't be questioned or anything like that. It's crazy to me. So look, you defend your deen, right? You defend your doctrine. You show me, hold on, you show me where this shows that these are not, hold on. You show me where this shows that these are not prisoners of war. These are not servants or slaves. You show me that.
You're not listening.
Yeah, you're the one that's not listening. Hold on.
Show me translation of the text that says that. I didn't defend anything.
Within the tomb of Hormeb. Look, let me show you what the Egyptologists are saying about this. Within the tomb of Hormeb at Saqqara, one of the most striking reliefs depicts a quiet yet powerful moment, the documentation of Nubian prisoners following a southern campaign. Okay? Unlike the common scenes of bound captives, these men are showed seated in orderly rows, their heads resting calmly upon their knees, awaiting registration by Egyptian scribes before them. Each figure is remarkable individuality, full lip, strong, blah, blah, blah. The ancient Egyptian artistic convention for peoples from the lands beyond the southern border. So these are described as prisoners of war awaiting their fate. Okay. So if you disagree, show me the text that says otherwise. If you can't, bro, then you just
I didn't say I'm agreeing or disagreeing. I said,
so why are you wasting my time then?
If you're not disagreeing, because they didn't translate the text at all.
All right, hey, Easy Bandz. Yeah. Easy Bandz, we're gonna do a part 2, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I need you to close out, man. I got the roll.
All right, cool.
Later.
Peace, y'all. Peace, Jose.
Peace, Jose. So listen, man. I really want to, on the next one, maybe focus a little bit more on the topic that I was speaking about with God Energy. Sorry, it's dark in here, bro. My bad.
It's all right.
Yeah. So I wanted to basically, I want to go deeper into that topic of, because you always hear about how white missionaries brought Christianity into Africa, and you never hear about some of the great things that Black people in Africa did in terms of bringing Christianity into Arabia. Okay. And so I think this is a great opportunity to look into some of these great Black rulers that are overlooked and never mentioned in any types of topics that I've heard of. So this is a great opportunity. We'll have a part 2. I'll bring more problematic stuff about Muhammad, about the Quran. So this is we're just getting our feet wet with this, man. And there's going to be a lot more of this. Like I said, I'm going to ask Brother sa.neter as well if I can bring up Brother Kalam from Titans TV over in the UK. Another powerful brother has been doing this thing for a long time. I'll see also if we can get him on Brother DMG as well, and go forward from that. But I want to thank everybody that showed up on the panel. I want to thank everybody that showed up in the chat. I hope you guys learned a lot from this. And as you can see, none of the Muslims showed up here, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Brother Lion hit the panel, man.
As y'all can see, man, we got them shook. They know what time it is. They know the only way to survive is to stay away, man.
Yeah, that's sad, yeah.
Word, to stay away and hope things die down, but it's not, because we're going to keep going with this. All right. So once again, salute to you, Brother sa.neter. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Yara, God Energy, Jose. Peace and blessings, man.
All right. Peace. We out, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.